Rise. Judge Vanderbeek Court is now in session. Judge, this is the case of the Kennedys.
Thank you. You all may be seated. Okay, Mr. Kennedy, you brought this case before the court.
Yes, ma'am.
What's going on?
All right, folks. Right from the jump, we've got a dad stepping up for his daughter, 12 years old and hitting that pricey preteen phase. Sports, outings and dances don't come cheap. But the question is, should the mum be contributing more, especially when she's married to a CEO? Let's keep watching.
So I'm sharing custody with our 12-year-old daughter now, and I'm just wanting a little more help with finances because as she's getting older, expenses are getting a little higher, and sports, dances, going out hanging with girls, and I just want a little more help on my end. I'm paying insurance already. And,
okay. How much are you paying in insurance?
$130.
All right. And what is your daughter's name?
Autumn.
Autumn. Oh, what a beautiful name.
Thank you.
Autumn. Okay. So what type of expenses does she have that are increasing?
So she's doing volleyball right now, and we're thinking that she's going to be doing that in high school as well.
Okay.
So just, athletic wear and then traveling, going to places. I want to go and support her and as well as her. But, I'm the one having to drive and take her if I don't want her to ride the bus because I don't feel her safe doing that.
Okay. Is this a school bus or?
Yeah, it's a school bus.
With her teammates?
With her teammates, yes.
And you don't feel that she should ride with her teammates?
And if it's really far away, maybe like an hour or more, I'll drive her. But, if it's 30 minutes or less, I'll usually let her typically go.
Okay. That's understandable. Okay. Is there anything else you want me to know before I move over to her?
She's just a growing girl and girls are expensive.
Did she just say he's trying to take advantage of my new relationship? Drama alert. This is where courtroom conversations turn into a soap opera. But remember, legally speaking, child support isn't based on who you marry next. It's based on your own income or capacity to earn. Let's see how the judge handles this twist.
So, yeah. Ma'am, is there anything you want to add or subtract from what he said?
Yes, Your Honor. I do feel that he's trying to take advantage of my new relationship.
Okay. Tell me about this new relationship.
Well, I can't really help who I have fallen in love with. So my new husband is a fantastic provider. However, I do get an allowance, and it isn't as much as you would think coming from...
Okay, let's break this down. She's getting $500 a week as an allowance. That's $2,000 a month. And says it's not that big a deal? Meanwhile, Dad's footing insurance, transport and extracurriculars. Quick question to the audience. Should an allowance count as real income for support purposes?
Well, my husband's a CEO of an energy company, so you would expect a huge allowance, but obviously he has to protect all of his hard-earned income.
What type of allowance do you receive?
About $500 a week.
$500 a week. Okay. All right.
So, which really isn't that big a deal. Obviously.
That big a deal in terms of the amount of money, or you paying child support for the child living with him and having increased expense?
Well, I don't think it's that big a pretty healthy income himself.
But you do understand his income does not have anything to do with an increase in what you should be paying in child support, right?
Yes, I understand that. But what I don't think has been considered yet is the fact that I set aside furthering my education, though I wanted to pursue that so that he could go get his MIS degree and then a master's in something. Mm-hmm. So I'm not sure that it's fair. I would like to consider all the money that wasn't spent on me that should have been spent on me while we were married.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's not how this works. And sir, she says she gets a $500 a week allowance from her husband, and who is a CEO of an energy company. Briefly, how much money does your husband make?
I'm really not sure.
Okay.
I'm sorry. It's a lot.
It's a lot?
I think so.
When you say a lot, is it like in the 200,000s, 300,000s?
Well, the car that he drives was about 200,000.
Oh.
So I'm thinking you probably have to
You
make
only
more
get a
than that.
$500 a week allowance.
And here it comes. The judge isn't falling for the romance novel storyline. Love is love, but this is child support court, not The Bachelor. When the money talk starts, emotions don't pay the bills. It's time to peel back the glam and focus on the child.
That's what I was thinking too.
I'll just move on. Sir, do you know how much money her husband makes a year?
I don't, but he's the Steve Jobs of the town of energy, so to say.
So let me ask you this. Are you expecting her child support to be based on his Steve Jobs?
No, his success has nothing to do with me or my daughter or our daughter. And like I said, I just want a little more help because she's getting older. And, if she's happily married with whoever and how big his wallet is, that is totally up to her.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that's not what you were doing because you can't do that anyway. But what we can do, ma'am, is make you pay more in child support because at this point you've been paying zero. Because from what I see, you're a stay-at-home mom, which is absolutely okay. But you do understand that your child has increased expenses, correct?
Yes, I do see that.
Okay, so after yes, I do see that, that means that I don't need any further response. So you understand that, right?
Well, how much are we talking about?
We're going to base it off that $500 a week allowance that you make.
Okay.
So based on that, I have your gross at $2,000 a month. After you take out The
judge just hit pause on the CEO fantasy and brought it all the way back to reality. FYI, in family court, your new partner's wealth doesn't affect your legal obligation. You are still responsible for supporting your child, no matter who you marry or how.
$662.53, okay? That would give you a child support obligation of $266. However, you also heard him say that he pays $130, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
In medical insurance for the child. You're going to have to reimburse that to him. So in addition to the $266 a month for child support, you add the $130, your child support obligation monthly comes out to $396.
Can I say something?
Sure, but make it brief.
Okay. Well, I don't know if he's still subscribing to the same psychic, but she charges, I think it's $412 a month.
Okay.
And
what does this psychic have to do with these numbers?
Well, because I just feel like if he can afford the psychic, then maybe he can afford the insurance. And I guess I feel that is money that could have gone towards my education while we were married.
Okay, well, I've already said no to that. That has nothing to do with me. I mean, you should address that in your divorce, obviously. And whatever he pays, if he chooses to do that, that has nothing to do with your responsibility, your financial responsibility to your daughter. So if there's nothing further from